Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Company 119's The Coffee Cup. My name is Ryan Gilkerson, creative lead, and we're going to laugh out loud today. That's right, we're going to talk about using humor in marketing. I love to have a good time, right? I love to do funny stuff. I have a podcast that I do that's pretty funny, radio shows that are funny. I love to have a good time. But there's a time and a place for using humor in your marketing. And some people are really good at it, and some people miss the mark slightly. So we're going to talk about it. If you're somebody that over LOLs in your text messaging, you probably want to pay attention. We want to help dial back your humor a little bit and make it better for your marketing strategy for your company. I found a great article from Yahoo Business that was written just a couple of months ago. This is from Mike Templeman. And if our virtual assistant, John, could show this, I love having a virtual assistant. It's great. 6 tips for knowing how to use humor in your marketing. This is from Yahoo, and we're glad that they were able to help us out with this article. We're going to talk about it today. So the first thing they talk about, surprise personas. Know who your audience is, know what your product is, know what the market is that you're trying to reach. It could be that marketing with humor would be really effective. It could be, depending on the subject, that it's just not appropriate to use humor in your marketing. You really want to know who your people are before you get out there and try to do something, innovative in terms of humor. I think of companies like Wendy's, for example, that took hamburger sales to the next level by using humor with their Twitter campaign. Hilarious. They released a whole mixtape with diss records about other, food chains and stuff. It was great. They found a way to use humor about something that's not normally funny. But there are also many, many companies that try to post something funny that's in poor taste and it doesn't go over well with their audience. So once you find out who your audience is and you know a little bit about them and you kind of get the idea that maybe they'd like to have a little fun, then it's okay to get into using humor. So here's some tips that I really like from Yahoo that talk about using comedy in your marketing. By the way, what prompted this is last night on CNN, I watched this special that they have out that's the history of comedy. Really good documentary series that they have out now about comedy. So that's what made me think about how people are using it in marketing. Choose targets with universal appeal to your potential clients. If you get too segmented, you're going to miss out on pockets of people that might want to do business with you, and you can actually alienate people if they don't feel like they can relate to the thing that you're being funny about, or they feel like what you're talking about is too controversial and is again segmenting them away from the rest of your customer base. You might actually lose clients if you try to be funny about something that's not universal. So make it very, very universal, something everybody laughs at. Funny words, good rhythm, and write what you know. Those are tips that some comic legends gave Yahoo, including Jerry Seinfeld, who says that it's like songwriting when you're writing humor, and that you have to know the rhythmic effect of what's coming out when you write. I love Ricky Gervais, another outstanding comedian, said that you have to make the ordinary extraordinary in comedy. It is no different than writing any other piece of content. You really have to strategize, you have to think it out, and you really have to find your pocket when you're writing something funny, even if it's just a sentence or two on Twitter that's going to be used for marketing. It reflects your business. You want to make sure that that rhythm is there and that the timing is there. This is a great piece of advice right here. Be tasteful. Use clean comedy. There's an analogy. I like this a lot. Seinfeld, again, usually worked pretty clean with his comedy, with his stand-up routine. Didn't work blue very much. But he used this analogy. He said, a person who can defend themselves with a gun is not very interesting. But a person who defends themselves with Tai Chi, now that's somebody you might want to pay attention to. You don't necessarily have to go in for the kill shot with your comedy. It doesn't have to be this crazy, groundbreaking, controversial thing that you're putting out there. You can be very effective without being too controversial. And especially when you are just getting into the idea of trying to be funny with your marketing, dip your toes in it first. Don't go all the way head first. Don't get too attracted to your first idea. Never settle for the first idea you have. And this is good for any kind of content. It doesn't have to be just funny content. But you really have to throw your idea out there, beta test it with some people around the office, maybe friends and family, Work it out there first. Maybe do a focus group if you have a large enough budget to bring some people in to tell you if they think it's funny. But don't necessarily stay married to the first thing you try. Most people aren't funny the first time they open their mouth. It takes you a little bit of time to do something funny, especially in marketing. Creatively repurpose your product or service. The really, really great campaigns right now, especially on the internet, especially what you see with social media, digital marketing, it's the people who can take their product and make you look at it in a different way, a unique way, and a funny way. Those are people that are having a lot of success with digital marketing. There's a lot of really funny, quick ads on Facebook, on Twitter. You'll see it on YouTube. You can find a way to look at what you're doing, tweak it a little bit, give a different perspective that somebody would never have thought of, and then repackage it. And people go, wow, that is really creative. That's really innovative. I want to do more business with those people. I want to try that product. I never thought of that product in that light. I really want to do more business with that company. And that's what you're trying to do. Look at it in a totally different way. The great stand-up comedians can take little bits and pieces of our lives, make us think about them in totally different ways, and then repackage it to us in the form of a joke. And all of a sudden, you've got a whole different way of looking at life. That's the way you want to get these products, a whole different way of looking at your products. And then also, you want to have good timing and you want to start small. Again, that's what they're saying here. Dip your toes in it. Don't try to rebrand your whole product in a day. Don't think that, if you post one thing and it's funny, don't think that everything you market has to be funny from then on. That's not what it is. You can just sprinkle in some humor here and there. Humor is a very open subject. There's a lot of different things you can do that are funny that might make somebody smile. If somebody smiles and they feel that emotional connection to your product, maybe that changes the way they look at it. But you don't have to revamp everything you do and turn into you don't have to turn into Geico and make only funny commercials now just because you have one that works. Find something that works. Find your pocket. Stay there. Get help. If you know anybody that's really funny or anybody that's a stand-up comedian that you went to see that was a local guy or girl that you think was funny, you might want to reach out to them, see if they can help you write some stuff. There's a lot of opportunity there. Don't be afraid to use humor. Just make sure that you use it right. So listen, that's our coffee cup for today. You already learned more about using humor in your marketing before you finished your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. We appreciate you joining us. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.